Hey folks, today we're going to be reviewing the major components of the 3TM and putting it together. Alright, to start with we have the cap and the shell, and these are both made of 316 surgical grade stainless steel. And we're lucky enough to find a partner to really give us high quality precision parts. You can see the shell is a nice satin smooth finish, and the logo is actually engraved. It's not etched. It's actually physically milled into the part, so built to last. And you can just see the quality of the machining in these parts. The edges are deburred and soft. You can see the carb hole here has a nice chamfer on it, nice rounding, and real smooth transition, no break lines. Up to the top, this is a 8.5 millimeter bore. That's the standard diameter for a 510 drip tip. So these are a standard part for e-cigarette industry, so feel free to pick up extra drip tips and further customize your 3TM. This one here is Purple Squirrel. You can see these tips have a plastic tip, so it's nice on your mouth, but maintain a stainless steel interface where the O-rings are to make sure that they stay precise and accurate over time. Plastic can warp over time. So that's our shell, our 510 drip tip assembled. Next we'll take a look at the cap. Also just, again, really high quality machining on these parts. I mean, best in class, for sure. And surface finishes and O-ring grooves and transition of the surfacing on the cap. Really nice. There's your carb hole straddled by the two O-ring grooves. So your carb hole leads in to your 8 millimeter diameter port just below the thermal extractor. So you get a full mix of your inlet air prior to hitting the cooling media. Alright, so we're going to throw an O-ring on here, and you just simply roll it over and let it go into the first groove and fill that groove. That way when you put the second O-ring on, it'll go right over that first O-ring and slide right into the second groove. Again, the O-rings straddle the carb to keep it isolated. Alright, and then you've got two screens. They're going to be on either side of the ball pack. So you just take one of your screens, drop it in there, push it down in. Make sure it gets seated in there, and you can see there's a little divot that allows a little bit of a springy action. As if you put too many balls in, it'll somewhat give a little bit. Alright, so now we'll put our balls in. You're always going to have just a few extra balls that'll come in the bag in case you drop a few on the floor, so you don't need them all, but you will need most of them. Save some out, and you can see the level of the balls below the carb hole, and you know that carb hole, there's metal below the carb hole. you know, about 1/4 of an inch. So you want to be about 1/4 of an inch or more. So we'll add a little bit more. Oh, there goes one on the floor. That's why I gave you extra. Save that one from the floor. Save that one from the floor. All right, so I'm probably almost arguably overfilled at this point, but if you have too many, that's okay. When you put the cap on, it just won't seat all the way, and you'll see the gap between the cap and the shell. So we'll put our secondary screen in. This keeps the balls from going down into your thermal liberator, your 8mm thermal liberator. And so when you put your cap on, you want to push and rotate at the same time to get seated. And again, it's okay if there's a little space, a little rattle in there, because in the use and care video you'll see it's pretty easy to clean this out with ISO, and if you have some room in there to let the balls shake when you're cleaning it, it's not a bad thing. Some people don't like the noise and they really want to take beads, and so from here on in, you know, fill them until it shakes at first, and then slowly put a few more balls in, and tap it down, and you got to take that inner screen in and out to do that. But again, it's most of the bag should be just about where you want to be as far as how many beads you want in there. It's your discretion, and once you have it filled up, then you can rotate this here. See where the carb hole is. We're just going to lift it out. See where it is. There it is. Past a little bit. Push and twist. And there's the carb hole. Adjust that to your liking. I run mine pretty tight, almost closed, I would say. So that again is also to your preference, and the addition of your favorite 8mm thermal liberator. She is ready for action.